We'll be with you for the next 45 to 60 minutes or so, and hopefully being joined by two special guests. So tonight, we'll be watching the sun go down over the south of the island, whilst keeping an eye on what promises to be a fairly busy evening on the arrivals and departures front. They're using runway 7 tonight, which is ideal for spotting, so stay tuned for lots of chat about planes and the Canary Islands. And coming up soon, we've got an Airbus A330 in from Manchester. Plenty of departures just going out at the moment. I'll just tilt the camera to the left here, and hopefully you'll be able to see the TUI flight, which is just departing out now, and just behind me, the noisy Binter flight. So let's just have a look. So we've got the TUI flight going out to Brussels. That's the one that's just lining up at the moment. Evening, Danny. Hope you're well. Thanks for joining, as always. Let's just see where the Binter flight's going up behind it as well. So the Binter flight just on the short flight, just heading over to Lanzarote there. All very exciting stuff. And we've just got, I'll just pan the camera around. We've just got a Jet 2 flight coming in now. A 7378 from Stansted. So that's been in the air for the last 4 hours and 12 minutes. I'll stay quiet just so you can see this land. There she is. And hopefully we've been joined by Paul. I know Paul's going to join us shortly. We'll just have a look at the notes here. All messages are visible. Let's have a look. So Paul's with us now, living at Large Aviation. Good evening, everyone. He's saying. Let's just go on to YouTube, just see what's happening on the channel. I think your camera needs to be rotated. Okay, let me just try this then. Is that any better, folks? Let me know. Camera's at right angles. Okay, David, I've just changed it. Hopefully it's okay now. Paul's just saying he can't join us, unfortunately, at the moment. So slight technical issue there. I'm not sure why. Let me just see if I can flash save, highlight, share, add guest, copy link. Let me just see if I can go ahead and add Paul. Just bear with me, folks. I've just sent you the link on WhatsApp. Let me know how you get on. Let's see the live chat again. Let's see what's going on in the window. Thank you, Danny. So there's the TUI off now. Let's head back down to what is quite a busy set of movements at the airport tonight. And we've got the Binter just on a relatively short flight off over to Lanzarote, I believe. And I'll just show you the sunset in a moment, because it's sunset's due to be about just after 8 o'clock tonight here in the Canary Islands. So we'll get some good shots. We'll get some good night shots, hopefully, as well. And here's the Wizz Air flight. That's just going out now. And let's just see where the good old Wizz flight's going. Let's go to flight radar. 24. So the Binter's just lined up. Katowice, I think that's how you pronounce it. Correct me if I'm wrong, as always. I'm sure you will. And there's the... Let's just have a look at the chat, see what's going on in the chat window with you all this evening. All messages. Spot on, Danny, David Bone. You're all welcome, of course. There's the Binter going out there. Noisy thing, of course, as it pushes back. Fairly quiet in flight. I did that flight over to La Palma last year from Tenerife North, which is the other airport here on the island. And it's a very quick flight. And the unusual thing about Binter is that they actually do in-flight film and TV streaming, which is really weird when you think about it, because their average sector is about 23 minutes. So I didn't even have a chance to watch an episode of The Big Bang Theory before the flight was landing. But a good thing, nevertheless. A good thing. Let's have a look what's coming up next. I can hear something in the background. So we've got Sunwing operating for Thompson, TUI. That's heading off to Norwich. Norwich, home of Alan Partridge, of course. So, Danny, thank you so much for your contribution again. Completely unnecessary, but much appreciated. Really, really appreciated there. A donation from Danny there of £5. Thank you again, Danny. Very, very generous. So, we've got the Norwich flight coming out just behind us. I'll focus in on that in a moment. Paul's still not able to join us, unfortunately. Not sure what's going on with Paul there, but I'm sure we'll try and find out. Let's see. See if we've got anything coming in. I'll just show you the sunset there, just as we are waiting. So let's just see what else we've got coming in the next few moments. Let's just have a look. So we've got a Ryanair flight, 7378, coming in from Edinburgh. Fairly long flight, that one, 4 hours and 43 at the moment. So that's going to be a good 5-hour flight. And let's just watch the Wizz Air flight go out. So that's the Wizz Air flight gone. And we've got coming up, the Ryanair flight is just circling on the island. That's the Ryanair flight from Edinburgh. And then we've got the Sunwing operating for TUI. That's heading back out to Norwich this evening. Due off the blocks at 18:40, so that's about an hour behind schedule at the moment. And they'll probably not make that time up on the way back from a previous experience flying that route myself. But you never know. You never know. It's all good, even if you're an hour late. Well, it's flying, so who cares? So hopefully the sound's coming through okay, folks. Let me know if it's not. I'm sure you will. Okay, so just a quick update then for you. So our guest Paul is joining us in a couple of minutes. He's just switching over some technology. Technology always lets you down. They always say it'll be all right on the night. Sometimes it isn't, of course. But yeah, the old Sunwing. I think Sunwing is a Canadian airline. I think. I may be wildly wrong there, of course, but I've got a feeling Sunwing's Canadian. And they operate a few 737s around this time of the year for TUI, when TUI are typically short of aircraft or crew. And Sunwing don't have enough to do for their aircraft over in their native Canada. So we've got a 7378 just coming out now. This is Canadian, yeah? Yep, there we go. So let's just have a look at the Sunwing. It's just, oh, sorry folks. Heading out now, heading up to Norwich. Relatively short flight, 4.5 hours from here. But as I say, it is running about an hour behind schedule now. But when you're going home, it doesn't really matter, does it? If it's an hour late when you're coming here, well, that's slightly different, because you just want to get to the Canary Islands. So we've got the Sunwing going out, just looking across the apron. We've got, I think, a Ryanair flight has just pushed back there. The tug's just been disconnected. so that's coming down shortly. As I say, busier than on Monday morning when I last did one of these lives. But thank you all for joining me, much appreciated. So we'll watch this one go out, by which point the Ryanair from Edinburgh should be just on the approach. And and I've just been shown, updated by my assistant, that the Ryanair flight that's just pushed back now from the stand is going to Liverpool. Popular route, very popular route indeed. Let's just have a look at this Sunwing jet that's going out now. Can hear it, can't see it. There she goes. So the Ryanair heading out to Liverpool is just taxiing down now. We'll get sight of that in just a moment. There are a lot of people here tonight, a lot of Afgeek Aviation spotters. I don't know if you'll be able to see them just while we wait for that Ryanair one to come down. I'll try and point to it. So just up on the mound there, we've got some aviation spotters, and they're just with their cameras. I didn't bring my long lens actually, but I know there's a few of you who follow me on the channel, particularly the Manchester-based spotters who have, like me, the 600mm lenses for the cameras, and you get some really good pictures, especially this time of the year where we are, because the sun's not overtly in your face. It's cloudy, but that's actually quite good for evenings like this when we're watching the planes. You might just be able to hear the Ryanair 737 in the background. We've not seen a MAX yet, but there isn't one imminent that I can see. There are some due in tonight, one or two due in, due out, but no 737 MAXs at the moment, although they do fly them down here quite regularly. In terms of other movements this evening, if I was still here at midnight, I'd show you. We've got one of the TUI 767s due in. As you'll know, the TUI 767s, certainly the British fleet, which is now just two of them, are on their last legs. I flew one from Gran Canaria a couple of years ago, but I understand they are due to be retired imminently, which will be a very sad day, clearly. 767, another favourite of mine. And yeah, so that's due in at midnight. If it wasn't dark, I would have stayed and showed you, but unlike up in Iceland, they don't get the midnight suns here, so there's not a lot I could really show you at midnight. However, we do have that Jet 2 Airbus 330 due in from Manchester shortly. That's on route now. Should be here with us within the next hour or so, hopefully. That's the Airbus 330-300. So that's not one of the air tankers. That's the leased in one from, oh goodness me, is it World Fly, High to Fly, or something like that? Somebody will know. Let me know in the comments. So 737, the Liverpool flight is just about to head onto the runway there. Then we should see the 737 from Edinburgh, 737-800 of Ryanair, which will be with us very shortly. That's just turning onto its finals now. And that's not me, that's not my car. So here's Paul. Here is Paul. Let's just add him in. Here he is, momentarily. Here's Paul. Hello, Paul. How are you this evening?
Good evening. Can you hear me, Neil?
Oh, I can't hear. Oh, do you know what, Paul? That's going to be a problem. I'm not going to be able to hear you, I don't think. Can you hear me, Paul?
I can hear you, Neil. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you because I've got my microphone set up, plugged into the phone, unfortunately. So I can see you. You're coming through loud and clear. I can see you. So I'm probably just going to have to lip read because I haven't got my earphones with me, unfortunately.
Oh, right.
But hopefully the rest of the channel can hear you.
Just want to check the chat can hear me okay?
So that's the Liverpool flight going out there. And what we'll do is just between flights. Now this is going to be a challenge because, Paul, I'm not going to be able to hear you, unfortunately, although I can see you. But I am going to just ask the rest of the channel. Can you hear Paul? Hopefully you can. If my earphones weren't plugged in, if my mic set wasn't plugged in, I'm going to try something in a moment.
Okay.
But Paul, if you could just introduce yourself, just for a quick 2 minutes, just while we're waiting for this next flight. And then
Yeah, sure. So you can hear me.
if everybody on the channel could just let me know if you can hear Paul, that would be very helpful. So Paul, over to you.
So hi everyone, I'm Paul from Living at Large Aviation. Like Neil, I am a travel vlogger. We've done a few vlogs together, me and Neil. The infamous Scoot one is probably what I would say our most, what you call it, would be the most adventures we had when I was our first one. Yeah, so Scoot didn't go down well for us, should we say. But yeah, I'm literally, I started up just come up to 2 years now, and it's been amazing the support we've had, the support from Neil, doing vlogs together. It's been at the adventures we've had, it's been brilliant, and many more to come. So, and yeah, check out the channel Living at Large Aviation. We'll give it a check out. Let's say some great vlogs, so it's done some great adventures with Neil. I think I said the Scoot one was memorable for a couple of reasons. A, the Scoot flight, and B, the Aegean flight coming home, which was absolutely fantastic. So yeah, so just go check it out, guys. It's absolutely fantastic. I think I said the Scoot one was memorable for a couple of reasons. A, the Scoot flight. Brilliant, Danny. Glad you can hear me. Unfortunately, I haven't got flight hand, so see if I can get the tablet and see if I can get it up and running.
So Paul, sorry to interrupt you there.
Yeah.
I've got a solution. Fortunately, I've got my iPad with me, so I can hear you. So I've got my channel running in live on the iPad. So here you go. So here's the flight in the Ryanair from Edinburgh. I've got a solution.
I'm just going to get flight radar up on my iPad now, Neil, just to sort of help out a bit.
So here you go. So here's the flight in the Ryanair from Edinburgh.
There we are. So, unfortunately, that adverts. Next flight in, Neil, after that is a Jet 2 737 from Nottingham. Oh, cheers, Danny. Yeah, just got next flight in, Neil, take a look. Jet 2 737.
Marvellous. Thank you, Paul. Good stuff. So we've got a question. I can't see all the questions all the time, unfortunately, because I've got the live on. So what's your favourite airport for spotting? Thank you. Danny. Probably Manchester, I think, because with Manchester, as Paul knows, there's a number of different places you can go spotting. So you've got Southside and all sorts of different, depending on the light and the time of day, and which runway they're using, of course. There's different places you can get, and of course, with Manchester, you get the movements are so very frequent. You've got so many different aircraft coming in and leaving. You've got wide bodies, you've got narrow bodies, you've got the already flight from the Channel Islands. All sorts of different aircraft, different sizes, and it's very frequent as well. Of course, you've got the 3 Middle Eastern carriers, and plus the A380, the glorious Airbus A380. And really, Paul's introduced me to all of this over the last sort of 12 or 18 months, really.
Yeah, and we're very fortunate at the moment, Manchester, that we're getting the 777 in the morning. Basically, for the Emirates, they've replaced it with 777 for the morning flights. I think that's only on till October.
Hello, Andy. Good evening. Thanks for joining.
Consistently. Evening, Andy. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, Manchester, it probably is one of the best spotting locations that we've been very fortunate to have. Compared to some airports, we've got there's never really a bad spot at Manchester to get a shot. You know, Southside's got a tremendous amount of spots you can go along to, depending on the movements that day. What basically where they're coming in and going out. You've also got the airport pub with a fee you can park there, which is fantastic for if they're coming in on that approach. You get some cracking shots coming in that way, as Neil knows, and also the RVP as well. Yeah, it can be a bit pricey, the RVP, way of food and parking, but if you make a day of it, it's not that bad. And also, you've got the hangar that's attached to the cafe that's got the Concorde in it as well, which is free to go and have a look round. All the paid tours. Yeah, Danny, it is that one. Yeah, that's one of the tower lights stuff that we do with me and a collaboration. That's all that side, and you can to me on the.
What's up next, Paul? What have we got coming in? Did you say there's a Jet 2 flight coming in?
It's a Jet 2 737-800 from Nottingham, mate. That's the next one coming in. Then you've got a Jet 2 737 from Birmingham. So the first Jet 2 737-800 is in the .com livery, and the second one is in the Jet 2 Holidays livery.
Perfect. Thanks, Paul. Awesome.
Yeah, there's a bit of a break then,
and
Neil.
I can see there's one pushing out as well.
For the next
pushing back rather. So there's one just on its way down now. Find out where that's going in just a moment.
Yeah, after the Birmingham Jet 2 737, it's then a bit of a break to the next Jet 2 from Edinburgh. Yeah, it's a bit of a break then. It's one pushing out as well. Pushing back rather. So this one just on its way down now. Find out where that's going in just a moment. After the Birmingham Jet 2 737, it's then a bit of a break to the next Jet 2 from Edinburgh.
Yep. And then we've got this one going out to Stansted, which is the one that's just taxiing down now. So we'll just swing round. That'll come into view shortly.
Yeah. Oh, that's a Max as well. It's a 737 Max 8200.
We've not seen a Max, Paul. We've not seen a Max at all yet so far this evening. So you've brought us luck. There we go.
They seem to follow me at the moment, the Ryanair Maxes.
And we've got the Jet 2 coming in, as you said, Paul, from East Midlands, 737-800.
Oh, that's great to hear, Andy. That's great to hear. Andy said he won a model at the aviation fair. Last ticket bought in the appalling weather that weekend. We've got the Jet 2 coming in, as you said, Paul, from East Midlands, 737-800. Yeah, Danny, Southside is absolutely brilliant. As I've introduced Neil to, there is quite a good few spots, depending on the movements. There's also another couple of spots as well that I've not taken Neil to yet, which I will take Neil to, just depending on the rotations on the day. So the weather looks absolutely fantastic there in Tenerife, Neil. It's better than it is back at Manchester. It's wet and windy and miserable here. Typical UK summer autumn weather.
Yeah, it's the weather is really good. Thanks, Paul. Yeah, it's been really until the sun went down a few minutes ago. It was baking at 25, 26 degrees, even at this time of the evening.
Absolutely jealous.
So it's been glorious, yeah, glorious.
Jet 2 from Nottingham is on finals now. You should be able to see it shortly.
Really good, thanks, Paul. Yeah, it's been really until the sun went down a few minutes ago. 25, 26 degrees, even this time of the evening. Absolutely. So it's been glorious, yeah, glorious. Jet 2 from Nottingham is on finals now. You should be able to see it shortly.
And like typical Jet 2 action, I've paid for it, so I'm going to use all of it. And like typical Jet 2 action, I've paid for it, so I'm going to use all of it. And just on fire, and just coming, the next arrival as this Ryanair will depart is the Jet 2 737.
So we've got the Rhino and just waiting to take off now. Just waiting for the Rhino. Just waiting for the Jet 2s to clear the runway, I think.
Just on fire, just coming, next arrival as this Ryanair will depart is the Jet 2 737.
We've got the Rhino just waiting to take off now. Just waiting for the Rhino. Just waiting for the Jet 2 to clear the runway, I think.
And there goes that Ryanair 737 MAX 8-200, or as we all know is the MAX 8, as O'Leary like to put it if they say 737 8-200. Now departing to London Stansted. There goes that Ryanair 737 MAX 8-200. As we all know is the MAX 8, as O'Leary likes to put it 737 8-200. Now departing to Stansted.
Right.
And Neil, you should be able to see the next arrival coming in shortly. It's that one from Nottingham. It's the Jet 2 737 800 in the jet2.com livery.
Birmingham to Tenerife. All right, yep. So we've got the Birmingham flight just coming in now.
No, that's the Nottingham flight coming in, mate. It's the Nottingham flight coming. Oh, sorry, yeah. Sorry. Sorry, yeah. Sorry, I got it wrong there. Yeah, it's the Birmingham flight. Sorry, in the .com. Sorry, in the holidays livery. That's my mistake. I was clicking on.
Flight just coming in now.
That's the Nottingham flight coming in. And we've got about 10-15 minutes, and then the next arrival's in. That's another jet2.com livery from Edinburgh. And we've got about 10-15 minutes. So, chat, how are you all doing this evening? So, you see Neil's in this lovely, beautiful, warm climate.
Thank you, Paul. There's a bit of a delay. There's a lot of a delay, actually, between what I can see here and what's coming through on the speakers. So keep up the good work, Paul. You're doing all the great speaking. That's just helping to cover the delay that we're getting here.
That's fine, Neil. No worries. I'll keep it. But yeah, how's everyone doing? And where you're watching from this evening? Obviously, I'm in the UK. The weather's windy, should we say? Where you got Neil there in lovely, clear, pretty much clear skies, warm weather, watching play. Neil, Andy's got a question for you in the chat. Hi, Neil. Have you ever been to the Park Santiago 3 hotel?
It's just nice here, Paul.
It's time to Tenerife.
Temperature's just started to drop, but that's quite nice. We've got a bit of a breeze, as you're normally getting through the Canary Islands. But yeah,
Andy's got a question for you in the chat.
Temperature's just starting to drop, but that's quite nice. We've got a bit of a breeze as you normally get through the Canary Islands. But yeah. Yeah, I've had a bit of a delay there, Paul. That's just, I was thinking I was perhaps just talking over you there. So, Andy, the Park Santiago 3, no, I haven't ever stayed there, to be honest, but I have read excellent things about it. So, as you know, as you've probably seen some of my videos down here in the Tenerife, in the Canaries, on hotels generally, I kind of follow the hotels and follow which are the good ones and which are the not so good ones. There aren't that many bad ones these days in Tenerife, to be honest. A lot of new hotels over the last few years, and they're just building some in the distance, as I can see here down in Los Abrigos, just near the airport. But no, as I say, Park Santiago, always heard good things about it. So go for it. I'm down in Lanzarote in December, otherwise we could have met up. But yeah, overall, heard some pretty good things about it, so I'd be confident to stay there. Yep, 100%.
Yeah, Danny. It's a bit of a first time we've done this. Obviously, Neil being in one country, me being in another. Last time me and Neil did a live like this, it was at Leeds Bradford, which was a great day. Weather wasn't as bad as we thought it was going to be. But yeah, if you've not seen that live, go check it out. That was a great day at Leeds Bradford. Oh, in Stalybridge, Danny. Yeah, what's the weather like there, mate? Last time me and Neil did a live like this, which was a great day. But yeah, if you've not seen that live, go check it out. That was amazing. And the next arrival, Neil, is the Jet 2 from Edinburgh in the .com. It's still about 15 minutes out at the moment. So, Neil, why don't you tell everyone what you've been up to?
Okay, great. Thanks, Paul. Whereabouts is the Airbus 330 at the moment, Paul? Can you tell?
Last time I checked on the 330, it was delayed, mate. It is showing estimated 2050, so 10 to 9. The Jet 2 A330 is due to arrive at Tenerife. And just to let you know, Neil, that the Jet 2 A330 is in the World Fly livery too.
Okay. Oh, it's from Manchester.
And just to let you know, Neil, that the Jet 2 A330 is
Yeah, perfect. Thanks, Paul. Yep. So that's the Airbus 330-300, isn't it? Which is great. That's really the one that I want to see tonight. But that's oh, it's only 18 minutes out according to Flight Radar. No, that's not it.
It's 50 minutes out, Neil. 50 minutes out according to Flight Radar.
Which is great. That's really the one that I want to see tonight. But that's oh, it's only 18 minutes out according to Flight Radar. No, that's it. So correction, it's 50 minutes out. Sorry, folks, it's 50 minutes out.
Yeah, to be honest with you, after this Jet 2 comes in, there is a bit of another break, but after that, we have got a gaggle of 4 planes then after that. So we've got another break after this next Jet 2 comes in, but then we've got 4 planes pretty much right near each other then. So it should be action up a little bit more. After this Jet 2 comes in, there is a bit of another break, but after that, we have got a gaggle. Yeah, so it looks like it's
So we are. Apologies, Paul, if I'm talking over you. By the way, it's just there's such a massive delay between here and England for some reason. I don't know if it's just a YouTube thing or what, but anyway, we're just looking at the apron now, as you can see. So we literally do have some really great viewing areas here down at Tenerife South. It's a bit of a convoluted area to get to. So if any of you ever want to come and see the planes here at Tenerife South, there is an excellent website, but I'm in the process of doing a better guide to how to do spotting down here at Tenerife South, because it'll give you a limited amount of data. But I was down here about a year ago with a friend of mine, and we spent hours trying to find the spot where to go to where I'm stood now, because it's not easy to find. But it's a great airport to come and see the flights, even at this time of the year, because we're sort of just, all the schools have gone back, so the holiday flights have finished now. And the retired people who spend sort of 2 or 3 months down here in the winter haven't arrived. They don't tend to arrive till October. So it's still busy, though. It's still busy. And Neil's Cars and Aviation, Neil Turner, another fellow friend of mine, has also joined us. So Neil, welcome. Thanks for joining. And Neil may join us as a guest, although given how challenging it was to get on Paul on here, we'll see if Neil manages to get on. But if you haven't seen Neil's channel, it's Neil's Cars. I may be doing him a disservice here. Neil's Cars, Neil's Aviation. Joins. I am at Tenerife South Airport. Local time is just gone 8 p.m. It's gone a bit quiet right now. We're just waiting for a couple of flights to circle around the island and land. But the big one that we're hoping to see tonight will be obviously the Jet 2 Airbus 330. But as you can see, if I just pan around, the light is starting to fade. We are starting to lose light, which could be a challenge. I mean, you'll see the Airbus 330, but you might only see its landing lights. Hopefully you'll get to see a bit more than that, but we'll see. We'll see. The light really is starting to come in now, and it's as fabulous as the evening sky is down here in the Canaries. Yeah, really wanted to see that Airbus 330, and I'm sure we will. I'm sure we will. It's probably only 45 minutes away now, so do stick with us. And I'll hand back to Paul now. Paul, if you could just give us an update, if you wouldn't mind, on upcoming arrivals.
Get to from Edinburgh is 6 minutes out now. It's just turned on to finals. So yeah, that's great. Yeah, you can see the lights fading there for Neil. So yeah, it might be a bit challenging to see it come in. Hopefully you might get a bit of a shifty on. But looking at the gaggling players in front of me, sort of restricted to how quick he can go. So you probably, hopefully, it'll just get in time. But yeah, the next arrival is the Edinburgh to Tenerife in the 737-800 in the jet2.com. As I said, just turned on to finals now and is 5 minutes out. So, Neil, just to update you, the issue I had getting on the live with you was the fact of I was trying to do it on my laptop.
Thanks, Paul.
Lovely stuff. On my laptop for some strange reason.
So what I'm going to do is just go take a walk down and just between flights, just going to try and find a more elevated position for us, just so we can get to see these aircraft landing as the night draws in. Oh, I can just see the landing lights just ahead of me here. I can just see it now. Let me just spin around. I'm not sure you'll be able to see it on the camera, but let's just have a look. Oh, they've even got a bench for us av geeks to look at as well. Canary Islands spotting, it says. Association of Spotters of Canaria. Well, there we go. There's a spotting association approved by the airport authority. That I didn't know. So Here we go. Oh, wow, look at this. There's a proper viewing platform here. Look, check this out.
Hey, that's decent, that area, Neil. Yeah, no worry, Neil's car's
You might just be able to see that,
now it's all that matters.
that aircraft in front of me. Just about
You
to land. I
you'll
don't know if you're able to
probably
see
get
the
a better
landing
sight
lights.
of that 330 coming in there, Neil, like that.
Yes, well, we've got a little bench to sit on here. We've got a notice approving it for the Association of the Canary Islands Spotters people. I never knew this existed. You live and learn. You live and learn.
Yeah, it's a cracking little viewing point, that. Got some good height to it as well. So your next arrival is 3 minutes out, Neil. 3 minutes out.
So as I say, fairly quiet just at the moment. And again, Paul, and everybody who's on the channel right now, I'm not deliberately talking over Paul. It's just this is a first. And what we're finding is that there is a huge, probably 20 or 30-second delay between either of us speaking and then it being broadcast over YouTube for some reason. I don't know if that's just a YouTube thing. But Paul, I guess we can figure this out. This will be the first of several joint efforts between us, the first of several lives that we'll do. I'm actually here in the Canaries for another week or so, so I might try and squeeze another one in. But you know, again, don't underestimate the amount of effort that goes into making these lives. As Paul will attest to, Paul and I and Neil and I have had various chats over the last week just to try and get these scheduled in, because at the end of the day, you know, we all have lives, we all have jobs to do. This isn't the main occupation for either of us. It's just a strong hobby, I suppose, that our relative spouses put up with. So,
yeah,
there you go. There you go. So hopefully you can see this aircraft arriving now. And hopefully Paul will be giving us some commentary on what it is, where it's from.
Literally just about to touch down.
I haven't got my iPad in front of me, unfortunately. So at the moment,
one from Eddie was just about to touch down.
But what I can tell you is that it looks really good against the background of the closing in skyline of the Canary Islands.
Yeah, then after this one arrives, as you see it touching down now, yeah, it's a much better view, that, Neil. That's so much better than where you were when you first started the stream.
So there we go, folks. That's the Jet 2 flight from somewhere. I'm sure
and
Paul can tell us where it's from.
And you're going to love me for this, Neil.
So what a glorious night. What an absolutely glorious night.
You've not only
although it's cloudy,
today, Neil.
It's still very sunny. It's not sunny, it's cloudy, but the light's really good. We can just see the twinkling of the runway lights. You can probably see in a moment they're probably going to turn on the lights for the apron there, I'm guessing. But at the moment, really great. And Danny, you're absolutely right. A nice new spotting area for us here. Some great views. The flashing amber of the lights just before you pull onto the runway there, just before you turn onto the runway. Because we really are at the end of the runway here, as you've probably gathered. The aircraft come down here and then they circle round and they take off. All good stuff. All good stuff.
So yeah, Ivan, Neil, as I said, I was just saying, you're going to love me for this.
There's something else coming in. I'm going to go and grab my iPad in a minute just so I can keep an eye on it. But I'm sure Paul's keeping you company with the
737
voiceovers.
Arrive as well. So your next arrival is from Manchester, and it is a 737 MAX 8200 Ryanair.
So the wind's picking up there a little bit, just as the light. And that one particularly was to get the United 757. That's a seasonal service. That was the last of which left today. That's a direct flight between here and Newark in New Jersey in the US. And that's a seasonal service, as I say, so that ends today, and we won't see the United flights back here until March or April next year, around Easter time. So this is a growing Canary Islands are actually a growing destination for US tourists, and there's a lot of business here for US tourists. But obviously now the United flight's gone, what the tourists will need to do from the US is fly via one of the hubs with the likes of BA via Heathrow, Frankfurt with Lufthansa. That's that kind of thing. To be honest, it's just as easy. So my able assistant is just bringing me the iPad now. The likes of BA via Heathrow, Frankfurt with Lufthansa. That's that kind of thing. To be honest, it's just as easy.
So Neil, if you didn't hear me already, mate, it's basically the next arrival is your lucky day because you're not going to.
So I've got a question from Neil.
Not one, but two.
What's Joe doing while you're out geeking? Have you paid first to go to the spa? No, Neil, you know me better than that.
You're having
no, I've. She's with me, just being my able assistant in the background here.
Yeah, next arrival 4 minutes out, Neil. Ryanair 737 Max. So it's been your lucky day today, 2 for 1.
So let me just park the camera down there for a moment.
Oh, Danny, thank you very much for the donation.
Danny.
Neil. That's brilliant.
Danny, thanks a million again. Really, you don't need to send me all these donations. It's very generous of you indeed. Very, very much appreciated. It all goes. Danny, thanks a million again. Really, donations. It's very generous of you indeed. Very, very much appreciated.
And then behind the Ryanair 737 MAX 8 is a Jet2 737. Looks like, yep, 800. And it's from Bristol and it's in the Jet2 Holidays livery. And that's 6 out. Yep, 800. And it's from Bristol and it's in the Jet2 Holidays. Hey, I tell you what, Neil, you're in luck today, mate. It's not only one Max you're going to get to see today. The two coming in behind the next 2 flights is also a 737 MAX 8 as well.
We have another aircraft coming in, folks. Let me just go and focus on that for you all. Here we go.
And here is the Ryanair 737 MAX 8 200. Yeah, it's a little bit challenging this with the delay, guys. So I'm trying not to speak over Neil. Neil's trying not to speak over me as we're doing the live. Where it's something we'll have to work on and get right for the next stream. But I'd like to thank everyone for the donations for Neil tonight. They've absolutely smashed it. You know, brilliant. Well done. Thank you very much for your donations.
Yeah, as Paul just said there, we are desperately trying not to talk over each other. We're not being rude to each other. We are actually good friends. We've not fallen out. It's just that this is kind of one of the first we've done of here, and of course I'm 2,000 miles away, so it's pretty good. It's working okay. It's just there's a massive delay between what Paul and I are saying, and there's probably a massive delay between what I'm saying and what you can hear. I don't know what we can do about that. I am on a 5G connection down here in the Canaries with a Spanish SIM as well. So we'll figure that out, folks. We'll figure that out. Don't worry about that. We'll figure it out. And what's going against me at the moment as well is, as you can see, the camera's shaking a bit. I've got it on a a gimbal as well. The problem is that it's just the wind's really picked up over the last 5 or 10 minutes. But we will persevere, like the av-geeks that we are. We will persevere. Nothing will stop us.
Come rains, come all seasons, we're out there. It doesn't matter how much the camera shakes, we're there to try and bring the content to everyone. You know, we do work our backsides off, and as Neil said before, our lovely partners do put up with us. And from my point of view, I'm surprised my other half hasn't shot me countless times. The amount of times I said I'm just going to the airport on days off when we've both been off together. But on the flip side of that, she's quite happy to get rid of me when I go travelling. So, you know, she gets the bed to herself and gets the telly to herself, so you can't complain. Oh, cheers, Danny. Thank you for your kind words there, mate. Yeah, we do try our best. We will have to try and sort some sort of way of Neil hearing me in real time, so we're not talking over each other. But yeah, me and Neil are really good friends. It's been, been brilliant. Getting to meet new people since I've been traveling myself, and yeah, it's been absolutely fantastic. And it's been a pleasure to work with and travel with, and have a good laugh with. And there you go, everyone. This is the Ryanair 737 MAX 8-200 now landing. A beautiful aircraft. I don't know, Neil. I honestly don't know how difficult it will be. But it's something we're going to have to all look into, I think, for possibly next time. But if you want to jump in, mate, jump in. I don't know what the delay is going to be like between all three of us, but yeah. We need to fathom the way of us hearing each other in real time. I think that's what the issue is. So if Neil turns back to the end of the runway again, the Jet2 737 Holidays from Bristol is due to land any minute now.
I don't know, Neil. I'm just going to send you the link. Just try it. It's worth giving it a go. Just let me send you the link, and then we'll see. This may be a complete disaster, folks. So what I'm trying to do here is bring Neil in as well as Paul. So if this all goes wrong, then don't blame me, blame Neil. That's what I'm saying. No, I'm joking. We'll give it a go. Let me just zoom back out because the camera's going a bit haywire here with the wind. As you can see, they've lit up the apron now. We've got the Jet 2 one pushing back. You might just be able to see on camera. Just really good. You can see the lights of the Ryanair one just taxiing in now. And I think, unless Paul corrects me, I think this is where it starts to get a bit busier, actually. I can see there's...
Yeah. Jet2 737 from Bristol, mate. And then behind that, literally a few minutes behind that, you've got your TUI 737 MAX 8 from Newcastle. There you go. That's the one from Bristol just landing now. Oh, and then after the TUI 737 MAX 8, we have got a Binter.
So there we go. Jet 2 down. There is another Jet 2 in corporate colours, or the basic colours, the original colours, you know what I mean? That's just pushing back now. And let me just switch back to the channel on YouTube. Just bear with me for 2 secs.
Yep, so your next arrival is TUI 737 MAX 8 from Newcastle. And then, as I was saying then before Neil jumped in there, it's a Binter.
Oh, okay, Neil. The maximum number of guests must be 1, then, I'm guessing. All right. That's a shame.
Yeah, I think the co-lives can only be done with 2 people at the moment. I know YouTube are looking into having more multiple guests on the lives together to try and make it some sort of like a live podcast type of thing.
That's true.
Yeah, I think the co-lives. I know YouTube are looking to have more multiple guests. Evening, Kimberly.
Kimberly Casey, welcome, Kimberly. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, Neil, you're literally...
We are in Tenerife South Airport. The airport's just starting to get a bit busier now, as you can see.
4 minutes out to TUI max, mate. 4 minutes out to TUI max.
Kimberly Casey, welcome, Kimberly. Thanks for joining. Yeah, Neil. We are in Tenerife South Airport. The airport's just starting to...
Then I say after the TUI fly, we've got a Binter ATR 76, and then just behind that is a Jet2 737-800 from Glasgow in the .com livery. But this Binter needs to get a hurry up because that Jet2 is gaining on it quite quickly. So this could get into a bit of a sticky situation for the Jet2. It may have to do a loop if it pulls on it too much.
Let's go. Since then, they managed to plant down the party.
I really need an office. So yeah, as you can see there on the camera, that is on Neil's camera. There's a TUI 737 Max 8 that's just on finals now. The Jet2 that was behind the Binter that was closing has just slowed down a bit now. So yeah, so after that you might be able to see the lights in a minute of the Binter as well, because it's not that far behind the TUI Max 8. Paul, what's your favourite aircraft and why? Thank you. Oh, that's a tough one. That's a tough one, Danny. Because I have travelled on some amazing aircraft recently, and yeah, it's a tough one for me. It's a toss-up between the 350 and the Dreamliner, but I have been on the 350 a couple of times now, and I'm massively impressed with it. It has swayed me more towards that way. So yeah, I think we put my head on a chopping block. I think the 350. It's just a beautiful aircraft to be on. Beautiful aircraft to be on. Neil, I am based in Widnes at the moment, mate. Back in lovely UK. And there's a TUI 737 Max now landing. I do think with those lights, though, Neil will get a great shot of the A330 World to Fly Jet2. I think that'll be great to see. Guys, can keep it down over there. I can hear you back feeding. Yep, so lining up now next is the Binter ATR 76. Oh! And there is, so I would say you've got the Binter ATR 76. We've then got the Jet2 737 in the .com livery from Glasgow. That Binter is from La Palma. And then we've got a Ryanair from Seville, 737-800 from Seville. And just to let you know, the departing Jet 2 737 that Neil's got on the camera now is obviously, as you can see, it's in the .com livery and it is heading back to London Stansted. Welcome back to the UK, all them passengers. You're coming back to gloomy, miserable weather. You should be able to see that binter shortly, Neil, with the from where it is. It's literally only about 2 minutes out, mate. And just for everyone who's interested in the 330, because that's what Neil really wants to see tonight, update on time on that is we are looking in the next 20 minutes that will be arriving into Tenerife from Manchester. So, chat, you've asked us questions. Let's ask you a question. So, what's your favourite aircraft and why? So, you're asking me and Neil what ours are. What are yours?
Thanks, Paul, for the update. Really helpful. I can see at the moment the Jet 2's, the Stansted flight, I think, is just waiting there. And then we've got 2 aircraft in the sky that I can see. One's lined up, one's just turning on to finals now. And I just caught that comment, Paul, about the A330 is going to be in about 20 minutes, which is great, which is really good, really excited.
Yeah, so it is going to start picking up now, everyone. So it was a bit of a lull, but it is picking up now. We've got, after that one that's just landed, we've got the one that's departing, sure that's waiting, that's holding at the moment for the binter. That might actually hold for the next 2 aircraft as well, as the Jet 2 is lined up for finals. The Jet 2 from Glasgow is now lined up on finals, and then shortly after that, the Ryanair from Seville will then probably turn on to finals then. So I would imagine that the Jet 2 going back to Stansted will then depart after that. Ryanair has vacated the runway. Yeah, it is a beautiful aircraft, the A340, but it is very, very underpowered, Neil. I get it. I get why everyone loves it. You know, there's not many 4-engine planes out there anymore now. I've not flown on one myself. It is one on the bucket list to fly on. But there are very, very few airlines that now have them, unfortunately, and that's the thing. That's the thing. I think there's only really Lufthansa, maybe, I think Edelweiss maybe still have them. As you see, they've been to landing there, the ATR 76 for all you propage lovers. Love the 747 too, but the A380 is my favourite to fly on, even if it looks strange. Yeah, I do. I must admit, Neil, I missed the 747s at Manchester, seeing them Virgin 747s at Manchester. Yeah, I missed seeing them beautiful aircrafts. You know, we've been fortunate. We've had a couple of football charters, and then we had, unfortunately, you know, when the Queen passed away, we had the Qatar Amari 747-8, which was very beautiful to see. Very beautiful to see. Yeah, the 300s are underpowered, Neil. Yeah, 600s, yeah, I agree, they are okay. Apparently, a bit more power to them. Personal preference, the A380. I've been on one once. Absolutely loved it. Smooth, absolutely smooth. Beautiful aircraft. Absolutely beautiful aircraft. 757-200 flying pencil. Due to great memories as a child going on holiday plus kids workhorse. Yeah, I agree, Danny. Yeah, they are beautiful aircraft, the 757s. When Jet 2 finally get rid of them, that'll be a very, very sad day. They do. They are the workhorse. They are a workhorse. Massively underpowered for what they are. It looks like, actually, that 2's jumped in front. He's going to actually depart. That Jet 2's actually departed. They must have had a little window and told to go. But yeah, I agree. And same with Tui. Tui's shortly about to do away with the 767-300ERs, which will be a very sad day. Because they've been a staple at Manchester for a very long time. I was having a conversation with someone the other day, and we were saying that basically all these aircraft that are going now. It is technically like an end of an era. You won't see these type of aircrafts ever again, and it's a shame. It really is a shame. So, update. So, as that Jet2.com livery has now departed to Stansted, we've had 2 more ping up departures. So we've got a Vueling that is going to London Gatwick, and we have got an EasyJet that is going to London Gatwick as well. And the next arrival is obviously the Jet2 from Tenerife. So for arrivals after the Ryanair, that is going to be it for a short period of time. Because we've got a bit of a gap then till the A330 comes in. So we then will have a few departures to fill that gap. I need him to stop barking. He's back feeding through the microphone. So lining up next on the runway is a Ryanair 737 that is going to Edinburgh. Next departure, as you can see on the camera now. But I think it's holding for this Ryanair at the moment. That's on arrival from Seville. Oh no, it looks like the Ryanair is going to do a turn and burn by the look of it. Yeah, Neil, it is. 777 is amazing with them GX90 engines. Absolutely amazing. So, yeah, so it looks like this Ryanair is just doing a turn and burn. Just trying to get it out before this comes to Bill comes in. So I didn't think it would do, but it has.
Yes, Neil, the 777 is a rather awesome aircraft. Full stop. Never mind the dryness. That was unproven. We did a video all about it. It's unproven. We'll leave it at that. I love the 777. I can't fault it. I've flown on a few of them in my time, and I like the 777, although there are people who say it's dry, yes. Rather awesome aircraft. Full stop. Never mind the dryness. That was unproven. We did a video all about it.
Yeah, so your next arrival is literally 1 minute out. It's the Ryanair from Seville, and that's your last arrival then until the Jet2 World Flight 30 comes in. So there you go, everyone. Is your next arrival. It's the Ryanair 737 800 from Seville. Yeah, so you can see on the screen now there, you can see that Vueling taxi, and that's the next departure going to London Gatwick. So it's actually slowed down a bit now. Just let you know, everyone, update on the 3:30. It's actually slowed down a bit now. It's actually due in at 20:50, so nearly 5 to 9 now. So it's slowed down a little bit. This fueling is a A320 Neo. And just to let you know, looking at the next departure after that viewing is going to be an EasyJet A320 Neo in the Neo livery. And again, that's going to London Gatwick, but that hasn't pushed back yet. It's pinging, but it's not pushed back yet. It was due to depart at 8:05. It's obviously running a bit behind at the moment. And there we go. There goes the fueling. But yeah, it's great everyone who's joined in tonight. It's fantastic to have you on the stream. I know Sunday it's a one. But yeah, thank you very much for everyone who's joined in tonight. And if I just have one from both perspectives tonight, if you are enjoying the stream as much as we're trying to make this work as much as possible, please hit the like button and go check out both channels. Moments of Sky from Neil, from myself. Just have one from both perspectives tonight. If you are enjoying the stream, and also check out Neil's Cars, Aviation and Travel. Unfortunately, isn't be on the line. One guest at a time, which is a shame. YouTube fix that soon. Yeah, Danny, there is. The wind is getting up there. Oh, cheers, Neil. Thank you very much. I think I've subscribed to you already, but I will double check that. And if not, I will drop you a subscribe. Appreciated with my point of view in the way of subscribers. I am very, very close to 4K. We are pushing that. We're trying to make it. Yeah, Neil. Go, if you haven't, anyone who's in the chat tonight hasn't subscribed to Neil, go drop him a subscribe. Go check out his vlogs. He ranges from flights he does with me, travel traveling in general and destinations, and he does hotels as well. Go check them out. They do traveling in general destinations, and he does hotels as well. Go check them out. Neil, update on the A330. It's actually gained some time now. It is 4 minutes out. 4 minutes out. Neil, update on the A330. It's actually gained some time now. It is 4 minutes out.
Brill. Thank you, Paul. And apologies for radio silence there. I was just letting Paul go into his stride. A fantastic commentator he is. I'm sure you all agree. And what we're going to do, folks, is we're going to watch the A380 land, and then we're going to wrap it up for this evening. And that's purely because, A, my batteries are starting to go a bit low, and B, I think we've learned a lot tonight, Paul, about how the whole YouTube thing works with guests and everything. So it's worked really well, but I think the A330 is going to be the star of the show, clearly, for us this evening. But before we go, after we see the A330, I'll obviously say my goodbyes, but really just two major thanks tonight. One is to Paul for all his sterling work, being an excellent commentator, keeping us adrift with all, keeping us up to date with all of the flight movements this evening. Sterling job. If you all give Paul a round of applause. And Paul, from me, thanks a million. You've been ace tonight. Thank you so much. Couldn't have done something like this on my own. And B, because she's not been on camera this evening, is my wife, Mrs. Moments in the Sky. So she's been scurrying around in the background. She's a bit camera shy. She's not into YouTube, unfortunately, but she's been doing a great job just keeping Flight Radar up to date for me in the background. So we've had the A-team tonight, the three of us, just working really hard to bring these videos to you live on YouTube. Because as I say, they're not easy to pull off. You know, getting the support there. Paul and I tried to support each other. You last saw us at Leeds Bradford Airport a few weeks ago. We tried to support each other doing these lives. But on the positive, I am down here for another week. So if I get a chance to pull one of these off again, if I can get another one of these into the diary one evening, I'll certainly do. Otherwise, tune to Paul's channel. Paul is often out with his camera at Manchester. I'm sure he'd be happy if you want to say hello to him. Yeah, go say hello to Paul if you're at Manchester or Liverpool. We've yet to do Liverpool as a joint one, so we'll do that at some point. But yeah, I can see the A380. The A380. What am I on about? They don't get A380s down here. I can see the A330 down here. I can just see its lights. It's just turning around the island now. So it'll be turning on to final shortly. So that'll be the final aircraft we see landing this evening. You know, as I said, all that remains to say is thanks everybody for joining. It really does make my day when, and Paul will attest to this, when you do these lives. It's great to see so many people join, and tonight has been far more popular than doing the weekday morning one, which I did the other morning, which, you know, I knew that was going to be a challenge because people were at work. But I did just want to capture the United 757. So if you want to see that land here, the video is live on the YouTube channel now. And if you're watching this in replay later on, thanks for watching. Thanks for staying to the end. Thanks for watching the Airbus A330, not 380, the 330. It's been a pleasure having you all along on what is still a glorious night down here in the Canaries. But we can just see the lights now. You might just be able to see it in the sky there. So I'm going to stop talking, and I'll come back to you when the A330 lands. And Paul, back to you.
Yeah, just about Neil up there. Yeah, it is very hard to do these lives. It is better when there's at least two. It's hard when it's just the one of you trying to keep an eye on everything. And just as we wait for this 3:30 to arrive, it's about 2 minutes out now, and then I'll shut up as it's coming in. it is hard, and we will fathom a way to get a few more. I've got an idea that I will run past Neil after the stream, which may be able to get us some more people on and live. But yeah, I'll sort that out with you off live later on if he's free to talk. And yeah, it's been fantastic for me personally. Thank you for everyone that's joined tonight. I don't know about my commentary skills. I've done my best to try and keep the stream going and keep it entertaining as possible for you and keep you updated as much as possible. But yeah, again, thank you from the bottom of my heart for everyone joining tonight, for taking time out your lovely Sunday evening before you go back to work tomorrow on the Monday. So yeah, the Waterfly is literally, it's on finals now, guys. I am going to shut up and let you enjoy this coming in. So thank you to everyone, and this video says I'll speak to you once it's landed.
No, done. Welcome.
And here she is, folks, the A330 that we've been waiting for quite patiently, looking at all the other glorious aircraft, but this really is the star of the show down here tonight. If anybody by chance is watching from Tenerife, there is the TUI 767 due in at around midnight. Pity we couldn't see it tonight. And they also have a Gatwick 777, the privileged style, which has been standing in for TUI over the last week or so. But again, typically sod's law. It came in this time last week. It was doing the Paphos rotation today, so it's not been down to the Canaries. But anywho, I will shut up now and let you watch the 330 land. Thanks, Andy. Thanks for the comment. Thanks for the sentiment. Very generous. Danny, thanks again for the contributions. And Paul, what can I say? You've been an absolute star again. Can't thank you enough. You can't do things like this on your own. And to everyone who's joined tonight, really, really appreciate it. Thank you so, so much for coming. Keep an eye on the channel. I do broadcast, I do advertise the lives a good 7 days in advance, if not more. So, and I'll let you know on Instagram as well. I'm on Insta, in the Sky Neil. Drop me a line, and if you don't mind, just hit the subscribe button. And I'll see you very soon. Thank you and good night.
Thanks very much, guys. Take it easy, and thank you very much from me.